Hello, wonderful attendees. I'm your host, Dalvinder Kaur from Lovely Professional University. Get ready to dive into today's topic, that is fashion's role in driving India journey at a $5 trillion economy. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the experts of the day, Mr. Rajat Bhattacharya, Professor cum Advisor Placements, School of Design, Fashion Design and Technology, Lovely Professional University. With over 48 years of experience in fashion and luxury sectors, Mr. Bhattacharya has created significant international joint ventures and established prestigious fashion institutes. He also has been instrumental in elevating the students' placements to new heights at Lovely Professional University. So now I would like to introduce the admission nominee also in this webinar, Dr. Tashinder Preet Kaur, a distinguished professor at Lovely Professional University, Mittal School of Business. With over 15 years of academic experience, she holds a doctorate in economics, MPhil, and UGC NET qualification. Dr. Kaur is also an author and served as a resource person for seminars and conferences. So before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone for any questions you can write in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side in the end of this webinar. And now I hand over the things to Mr. Rajat Bhattacharya, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from him. Over to you, Mr. Rajat Bhattacharya. Unmute yourself, Mr. Rajat, first. Kindly unmute yourself, Mr. Rajat, first. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kaur, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everybody that has been tuned in today. Yes, we are looking at a huge change and a huge expansion in our economy. And, for all that we know, that the government is extremely bullish about the fact that we will become a 5 trillion economy by the 2030. And we are also proud to say that I think the fashion industry, the apparel industry, the textile industry per se is going to be a huge part and play a large part in taking us to that level. Can you imagine that as per Kearney's research, we are expecting to reach a figure of $1.8 trillion in the retail industry itself by 2030. And this is expected through the direct selling and not through any of the indirect selling. In fact, what Kearney and Company says that 7.77 billion by the end of 2025 is what we expect already. The retail industry is booming. As you know, India's retail marketplace is now becoming the largest playground in whatever way that you can look at it, because there is not many other playgrounds that are left in the world where there is such a huge demand for whatever there is as of today. Many researches are going on, and it's not just the research figures which we are looking at, but we are seriously looking at the expansion of this huge market. And thanks to our 1.4 billion population, or is it already 1.42 or 43? It keeps going up. We've beaten China in at least some areas, and that is the population. But at the same time, it's a very young population that is there. And reaching out to, to spend as much as possible. If you follow links very closely, the West markets are actually slowing down quite a bit. China has seen a lot of ups and downs, and there's been this shocking news just this morning where we find that almost 40 of the Chinese banks are already in trouble, where it seems that they have a serious cash flow problem. But leave that alone. What are we doing? Where do we see ourselves? The apparel industry by 2030 in itself is going to cross $350 billion in India. Can you imagine that kind of a rise? And what that is going to do? It's going to be a huge, huge impact on the rest of the industry, the textile industry, the apparel manufacturing industry, the retail sales industry. Everybody is going to go berserk trying to meet these demands. It's not every day that we look at huge amounts of investment coming in from different sources. And today, if you look at the largest companies, we have companies like Wellspun, and we have companies like Arvind, which Wellspun is over $81 billion. Arvind, the close second at $70 billion, followed by Vardhman at $3 billion, Arvind at 1.6, and then Raymond at 1.2 billion. The workforce that happens to be directly involved is over 45 million people. So you can imagine how great a workforce that impact is already that exists. And we have no problem with our huge population, workforce, labor, people, intelligentsia is never been a problem. Add to this the indirect 60 billion people who are engaged in some form or the other in the retail market when it comes to apparel itself. And that is a huge, huge number. I mean, it's much greater than probably some of the populations in European countries or even in the Far East. And that's what we are looking at. There's a huge and robust demand. We already have a very large number of brands which exist in the company. Just to let you know that the report from Pichi and Wazir and company has noted that it was 165 billion only in the year 2022. And then the market has gone up by another 10% year on year, 10 to 13% actually. And a $350 plus billion is what is expected to be by the year 2030. So the global apparel market, which was at around 1.7 trillion in 2022, is expected to cross and breach the figure of $2.5 trillion by the year 2030. And a huge cake of that, believe me, rests from us. And what are we doing about this? Well, as you know, we are a huge university. We have almost 50,000 plus students who study here in our university in very many different plans. And added to that, we have a wonderful design school, under which we also have a correlated school which teaches exclusively fashion, merchandising, and all the linked areas. Our students over the last few years have been doing extremely well. They have been placed not only with some of the best companies in the apparel business, but they have gone on to earn laurels in even Fortune 500 companies, like, for instance, Puma, Nike, Iconic, Fusion. All these companies have their status in the Fortune 500 business. They are huge as it is, and our students have been doing extremely well. So as a result, we really don't need to sometimes even push the placement of our students, but it becomes an automatic choice of some of these companies which they reach out to us, because they find that our students are not only intelligent, but they are dedicated, hardworking, and especially since we are from a two-tier city, they are far more serious than people that you normally get in tier 1 and tier the major metropolitan cities, which is a huge advantage for somebody like me. I think that 50 years that I have spent in the apparel business has done us a huge amount of favor, because our students here are doing extremely well. Though we have great placement records over the last few years, and we often say that placement is never been a problem for any one of our students. Now let's look at some of the brands which are, doing the rounds. And before I touch on that, this whole world is speaking about the famous Ambani wedding. Now, taking a leaf out of the Ambani wedding, a lot of people are saying that, they're spending so much, some off the cuff figures say that they're spending anything between 4,500 to 5,000 crores of money, which, is a huge amount. And is it just showing off, or is it just showing off their wealth, or just a splash of splendor? But believe me, this is also putting India on the global map. For instance, do you realize that the Reliance Industries and the Disney World have gone into a strategic partnership, which in itself is $8.5 billion, which is equivalent to over 83,000 crores. If you look at the 5,000, even if they have spent, it's nothing but a very small percentage of what that amount is. The entire wedding is like a fairy tale. And with all these channels which are going to be under their gamut in this new partnership, which is going to be headed by Mrs. Nita Ambani, you can guess how many millions and how much money India will still make out of this new co-branding. And where does it come in? And how does it get linked to our garment industry, to our apparel industry? So let me tell you. You've seen that each one of those famous personalities over there has been wearing either a Tarun Tehalini or Manish Malhotra or a Sabyasachi or a Rahul Mishra outfit, Abu Jani, Shantanu Nikhil, you name it, and it's all there. Now you turn around and say, hey, what is the relationship between them and the Ambanis? And what is the relationship between them and Reliance and this whole, venture that we are talking about? Well, let me tell you that Reliance Industries has their finger in every pie. And a lot of their investments today are that they are co-owners of all these designers and their designer brands. So that is something which is helping India now to really take off and create a huge, huge market for all these designers, so that they can not only be across pan-India, but they can easily grow global. For instance, Sabyasachi, I mean, he's already tied up with the French designers Christian Louboutin. He's doing business with H&M. Everywhere there is a joint partnership. So it augurs very well for India, because, we are really taking it to a completely different height and a different level. Now, what do these brands that are there? Let me just off the cuff give you some of the numbers that, some of the names that are owned by these large industries, which are helping India's retail market in a huge way. India's apparel market going through the roof in a huge way. For instance, Reliance today partly owns Hamleys, Amante, Zivame, Agio, the Reliance brand themselves, and Azorte, which is the latest brand which is being launched by Isha Ambani. International designer brands that they have include Diesel, Bali, Kenneth Cole, Brooks Brothers, Thomas Pink, Superdry, Steve Madden. And with the acquisition of the Genesis Group, they've added to that brands like Burberry's, Canali, Paul Smith, Armani, Cavalli, Jimmy Choo, and Bottega Veneta. Now, can you imagine the total percentage and the total value of these brands? And can you imagine that they are not only India, but these are global brands owned by global companies? So we are looking at a huge market, not only in India, but even manufacturing and exporting this to the different countries, including the countries that actually own these brands. There is going to be no divide. It's market beyond borders now. Let's look at the other behemoth, which is Aditya Birla Group. Aditya Birla Group owns brands like Louis Philippe, Van Heusen, Peter England, Forever 21, Simon Cart, American Eagle, Reebok, etc. Again, some phenomenally big brand names. And added to that, who do they also have? Where they have now financed and are part owners of brands and Indian designers like Abu Chani, Sandeep Khosla, Shantanu and Nikhil, Sabyasachi, and even Tarun Tihamli are owned by ABFL today. And going back to Reliance, who are the people that they are pushing and they are supporting, are people like Manish Malhotra, Ritu Kumar, Anamika Khanna, Rahul Mishra, Raghavendra Rathore, and so on. That it is endless. So this not only gives us a huge impetus as to where we are going, but it looks that this industry is going to be an important part of that huge growth that we are talking about in taking India to that 5 trillion mark. Believe me, we will be there sooner or later. And along with that, as we are being asked to predict and know that it's a great prediction, is that India would probably by 2030 definitely be a 3 trillion economy. That is for sure. Nobody can beat that. We are already there at 3 trillion. It will hit the 5 trillion economy. So I think it gives a great impetus for universities and colleges like us. It's a fantastic opportunity that that we are looking at for the younger generation. I always tell my students that they are the luckiest generation of the Indian population. The next 5 to 7 years, it's going to take, and they are the people, the young generation are the people who are going to take India right to the top, and there is absolutely no doubt about it. I will now would like to hand over the mic to our co-presenter, Dr. Tushinder, and also if Dalvinder would like to put in some words at this moment. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rachad Bhattacharya. So now I would request to the admission nominee, Dr. Tushinder Preet Kaur, to be on the screen. Over to you, Dr. Tushinder Preet Kaur.
Thank you so much, Madam Dalvinder. Hope I am audible as well as I am visible.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to share my screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, your screen is visible. You can continue.
Thank you so much, Madam Dalvinder. A very good evening to one and all. I, Tushinder Preet Kaur, will be giving you the insights regarding what accreditations, the approvals the university is having. It gives me immense pleasure to share the input that university is NAC A++ accredited with a 3.68 score on 4-point scale, which is one of the highest score in first cycle of accreditation among all the government and the private universities. So it gives the immense pleasure that we are the first private university to get the first cycle of accreditation. So not only the private, I must highlight, the first cycle we got the approval among all government and the private universities. Apart from the NAT, we have certain other accreditations as well as the approvals, that is ACBSC, BSP, then UGC for Distance Education Board. For architecture, we have approval by Council of Architecture, Bar Council of India, Indian Association of Physiotherapists. The list is long, a few have been highlighted. Now I will take you to the insights, what all extracurricular activities are being provided to the candidates. So I'm pretty sure the glimpse, this is not new to you. The university students not only creates the history, as 12 out of 13 students, they not only participated nor not only represented LPU, but they whole made India proud by winning 1 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze medals. The story doesn't end there. We have the champions of 37 Inter-University Youth Festival under the aegis of Association of Indian Universities, where our students, they participated, not only participated, but they won Hunar 2024 under the categories of music, fine arts, dance, literary, theater, and procession. So it gives me again the proud feeling to share the university students also got the National Sports Award, and we got the first runner-up, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Maka Sports Trophy 2023. The story doesn't end there, and the students continues to winning in the various levels. Now, in addition to this, the university proudly hosted 106th Indian Science Congress, which was inaugurated by Honorary Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on 3rd of Jan till 7th of Jan. This Science Congress was initiated with the theme of Future India Science and Technology. This is a platform where the honorary or honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, he renamed the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan by prioritizing the research into every field. Now, the glimpse is not new to you. He is none other than Nobel laureate for peace and great spiritual leader of Tibet, Dalai Lama ji. He graced the convocation at LPU. In this glimpse, you can see the 2 presidents of Asia's great nation gracing the convocation at LPU. This is a glimpse where late Shri Arun Jaitley ji, he initiated with the startup school, interacted with the students to initiate the startup schools at the very right age. His former Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, he also graced the convocation at LPU. He is Gaur Gopal Das ji, who is the lifestyle coach and motivational speaker. He also visited LPU, interacted with the students and told them the ways to lead a happy life. So one must be happy at every level, face the situations. Life is always full of challenge. So yes, we got such insights from such a great motivational speaker. So apart from the great leaders, we welcome the celebrities, the glimpse of whom you can see. Shah Rukh Khan, Deepika Padukone, they both interacted with the students as well. His former captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he also visited the university, interacted with the students. So you can see the celebrities dancing at the stage, followed by the students. In this glimpse, you can see Guinness World Record for the largest Bhangra dance at LPU. Now I'll take you all to the insights for what all infrastructure facilities the university is having. The university has amphitheaters which are used to organize Nukkad Nataks. We have a seating capacity of 2,500 plus Shanti Devi Mittal Auditorium, which is used to organize events of national and international repute. This is the MAC lab, which we are having for our students. The academic input of the library with more than 20 lakh books, as well as the online softwares. You have certain orientation into your mind. We have it on the board for you. You might have heard about the Unimall, which is run by the students, wherein you will get every single thing, be it from a stationery to the clothing, so one roof which will satisfy all your needs, all your desires. So this is the inner view of Unimall rather. So this is a glimpse where students meet all the daily needs in the campus only. We have gym for the fitness freak people. Yes, so once you are fitness freak, we have the things for you. Well trained trainers are there. Then this is a bowling alley to bring you out from the academic monotony. We have a bowling alley. We do worry about your sickness and the health. We have multi-bed facility for hospital, so where doctors they visit on rosters as per days. Those days are communicated to the students well in advance, so there is no need to go out. So apart from the academics, your health, we are taking care of everything. So this is the day view of the university, the big university, lush green gardens, the inner side view of the residential facility. So this is a glimpse. Once you enter the campus, you on the left side, you will find the greenery on the campus. This is the night view of the university in general and the residential facility in particular. These are the turnstile gates which are there, you can see, because safety and security is the first and the foremost thing which every candidate, every student needs to take into the consideration. So there will be no unwanted entry to the university, because our system is that boom barriers are there. You show your ID card, you scan your ID card, then only it would be opened. Then if I talk about the security, like we have the deputed securities in every nook and corner. 400 plus security guards are there. So if I talk about this is the Shanti Devi Mittal Indoor Stadium with wide multifarious facilities. To initiate with, we have badminton courts, shooting range is there, then basketball is there, tennis range, tennis room is there, then all-weather swimming pool. So we have 3 all-weather swimming pools with us. So you have the game in your mind, we have it on board for you. So this is the outer view of Shanti Devi Mittal Indoor Stadium. Now, I'll take you to the website. Now, I'll really advise you to just take pen and page so that I can give you more information how you can save money. Because nowadays, rather money is required every time. There are no only special days that we require it. We require it at every time. Okay. Now, you can note down the website. It is lpu.in. You need to select the discipline, the program. So discipline is fashion design, wherein we are floating 2 programs. Apart from that, 1 international credit transfer option. So one is of 3 years, another is of 4 years. Then we design 2+2 with international credit transfer. Those who have a vision to start with us to end from abroad, they can go ahead with 2+2 international credit transfer option. Now I'm going to take BSc Fashion Design. I'll tell you what all information is there and how you can proceed with your decision. BSc Design is a 3 years program equivalent to 6 semesters. The eligibility is 50% plus university's exam, LPU NEST, or if you have appeared in CUET exam, or UCED, or undergraduate NID prelims, that undergraduate NIFT or NIFT BTech. So you need to look upon the in 10+2 what percentage you are having. Apart from that, in which exams you have appeared. So the university exam is remotely proctored, from home it would be conducted, and you need to clear that exam. I'm pretty sure you might be inquisitive to know what all question paper pattern would be, what would be the syllabi. Yes, we do have it mentioned it on the website for your more clarity. Question paper pattern is there, syllabus is there, sample questions are there, and test cities are also mentioned. Apart from this, as you can also see it on the website, what all academic input will be given to you, as this is the 3 years equivalent to 6 semesters. So you can scroll and understand that what would be the academic input, how apart from the theoretical, the freehand experience, the lab experience, the design experience would be given to you. So you can also understand, then apart from that, electives would be offered. Now going ahead with the fee structure, the fee for the program is 1,20,000 per semester. This is without scholarship. We acknowledge your hard efforts, and we do float scholarship on the basis of your previous qualification, on the basis of your 10+2. If you score 80% above till 89.9, 15% scholarship would be applicable. If you score category 2, it would be means or you score 90% above, it would be 20%. If you scored 95% above outrightly, it would be 25%. Now it also depends upon what is your performance in the national level exams or university exam. So we have mentioned the ranks, we have mentioned the cutoff as well, but one important thing is that one best scholarship would be applicable to you. Now this is very important, which I want to highlight. Whatever fee has been mentioned, it is till 25th of July. If you plan your decision by 25th of July, and after 25th, or suppose from 26th July onwards, the upcoming phase where there will be a reduction in the scholarship would be there, depending upon the availability of seats. So you can see here till 25th of July, if maximum scholarship is 25%, from 26th onwards, it would be reduced by 5%, means 5% per semester. So you can make it out 30%, right? So you need to, if you are planning, plan the decision well on time, so that you can save your money and you can ask your parents that it is your pocket money. Okay, continuing with the highlights, you can also go ahead with international exposure option, the semester exchange, and yes, these are the other scholarships which I told you. Now the point is, you need to sign up at lpu.in. Therein take admission, you select your program. Then the next part is to go ahead with the provisional admission. You can block your seat, then apply LPU Nest, which serves two purposes, eligibility as well as the scholarship, and then book the exam slot and you appear in the exam slot. Yeah, I'm going to share these important dates, which I personally believe don't wait for the last date, because it's outrightly mentioned last date is 25th of July. Let's not wait for the last date. If you have a vision, you have a vision to study outrightly, yes, plan your decision well on time, because after that you need to appear in the university exam and clear, and not only clear it, but score better scholarship too. So on this particular page, I talked about the eligibility, I talked about the scholarship, I talked about the ways to reduce the fee structure or to increase the scholarship, then the right mentioned dates as well. Now apart from this, no doubt I'll take your inquiries here as well, but still you feel something is left, later on you have something into your mind, never ever keep your queries with yourself. We are available for you. You can schedule a call, we will make a call as per you want your timings. Then we are available, our executives are also available. They can speak to you or they can interact with you through WhatsApp. Then we are available at live video counseling, that is one-to-one interaction would take place, and you can clear your doubts in that live video counseling. Then yes, you can select LPU in your town, wherein you can see what all possibilities are there, who are our executives, those who are in your town. You can go and you can meet them. Now last, which I really want, that definitely this one thing is going to help you out, we are into the process of conducting series of webinars, right? So this is a time period where you might be requiring, your friends might be requiring the information, what all other programs are there, what is the fee structure, and moreover, apart from the fee structure, what would be the academic exposure, where will I see myself after next 4 years or 5 years. So we have series of webinars. You simply need to go to lpu.in. On the left side, then you need to click on this LPU's Edu Fair webinars. That is the third last from the first column, LPU's Edu Fair webinar. Once this page opens, their first option will be to register. So we'll showcase you what all webinars are there. So for that details, you can see the upcoming webinars, you can see the past webinars too. So all the webinars which have already been conducted, their details would be there in past webinars. And for you can find your interest, that where your interest lies for the upcoming webinar. So you can also endorse your friends to go through this page, and they can also be the part, they can register for the webinar and they can interact with our experts too. So just one piece of advice, you can take time to take a right decision, but right decision is that decision which is taken well on time. So best wishes from my side. From my side, it's over, Madam Dilwinder. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tushinder Preet Kaur. Can we take questions, Dr. Tushinder and Mr. Rajat?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks for giving me chance to address your question. Dr. Tushinder, someone is asking here, how LPU is a better option than other universities in India? That's very interesting.
In terms of the fashion degree program, or in general you are asking?
Overall.
Overall.
LPU is
Okay.
better option than other universities in India.
All right, all right. See, what I personally believe is that any student or any person who is planning to enroll himself or herself for the next 4 or 5 years should take certain things into consideration. The first and the foremost thing is what I am paying and how I will be repaid. For example, or in very simpler way, what will be my input or what cost I will be bearing, and where will I see myself in next 5 years, or what would be where would be my placement. So we don't start from for the placement for in the last years, we start it in the basic year only, right? We start with the foundation. Second part is what academic input or how that academic input is delivered. So the trend is, it's not only fashion, it's not the management, it's not the engineering. The need of the hour is the practicality of the course. So if you see the courses which are being floated over here, not only the theoretical aspect is covered, but yes, it is garnished, it is backed by the practical courses, and hands-on experiences are also provided. So if I take the example, we are going ahead with the fashion design program. So altogether our students, they are manufacturing, they are going ahead with showcasing a product, they are creating the products, and they are going for the fashion shows. As Dr. Saab has already mentioned, that our students, they have underwent the fashion shows. So this is the practicality our students are undergoing. Next is what infrastructure the university is having, because a university or the institution where infrastructure is lagging, they cannot proceed with their things. So another point is the safety and security of the student, which I believe we are having all these 4 points into the consideration. I'm not sure about the others, but yes, if I talk about the academics, the placements, the overall orientation, the exposure, the last but not the least, safety and security, all these things are, this is what we are floating to our candidates. Hope my answer helps the candidate who has asked this question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tushinder. Mr. Rajat, someone is asking here, how can the Indian fashion industry leverage its rich heritage and craftsmanship to drive exports and contribute significantly to Indians' goal of becoming a 5 trillion economy? Can you please unmute yourself, Mr. Rajat, first? Thank you so much.
Like I already mentioned, that is exactly the goal that the brands are looking at today. As my colleague Dr. Tushvinder just said, that we not only encourage our students to be exposed to all the fashion shows, etc. You'll be surprised to know that the Miss Supernova and the Miss Liva Diva international shows, which were held in Mumbai a couple of months ago, 18 of our students participated in that, and the winners of that show actually went on onto a global platform and were able to achieve among the top 5 and the top 10. So that's the kind of, say, exposure that we give to our students. Answering your question of how India is wanting to do, we have these super giant companies today which have come forward. Now, for all of you know, if you are interested in the fashion business, I'm sure you are familiar with the names that I mentioned earlier. Or even let's take, for instance, fashion designers like Sabyasachi, Manish Malhotra. We all know he dresses all the movie actors and actresses in Mumbai and so on. Now, they needed deeper pockets to grow further from what they had already achieved. And where were they going to get this money? Now, if you have heard about a company called LVMH, and the world's second richest man who owns it is Bern Arnault. And how did all these brands, which are international brands like Coco Chanel, LV, etc., how were they able to become world winners and went on top of the scale? The very way that LVMH is the financer for them. And very similarly today, all our best designers are getting into the threshold and are being supported by companies like Arvind, they are getting companies like Reliance, by companies like Aditya Birla Group, and so on. So it's a huge amount of support that these people are getting. And they are showing all over the world. Today, Indian designers are very well known right across the world. And you will constantly see them showcasing themselves at the Pret-a-Porter in Paris. They will be showing at the New York Fashion Week. They are at the Japanese Fashion Week. They are in Milan. They are in Florence. And that is where today India stands. So it's not that somewhere very near future, I am sure that even our students are going to be able to, start reaching those heights, because a lot of them are already working with these top designers. We have students who are working with people like Shantanu and Nikhil. We have people who are working with Suket Dheer, who's already an international name. And yeah, we are proud to say that all our students are doing extremely well, even in the industry which actually manufactures and earns billions and billions of dollars for our country. And that's how the economy is doing so well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rajat Bhattacharya. And once again, thanks to our expert, Dr. Tushinder Preet Kaur. I hope all the participants got the answers from our experts. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our experts for sharing their valuable insights and expertise with us. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation have made this experience truly special. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding admission. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, or can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again, with the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Take care and goodbye. Have a great day.
Thank you.